The morning sun touched the earth gently, warming the ground where Buddha sat under a sprawling Bodhi tree. Around him, disciples had gathered, their robes fluttering softly in the breeze as they waited for the Master's words. Buddha closed his eyes briefly, allowing silence to envelop the group and signal the beginning of his teaching. "Listen," Buddha began, his voice calm. "Understanding is the seed of all growth, yet it remains neglected by many in pursuit of desires." The Buddha began his tale, his voice gentle yet firm, captivating all who listened. Once there was a farmer who discovered a golden goose in his field. One disciple spoke softly, "Master, I struggle to understand the thoughts of my father. He rejects my devotion to spiritual pursuits." Buddha turned his gaze toward the disciple, his expression steady yet compassionate, reflecting the peace he carried within. "Your father loves, but his understanding falters. Love without understanding can bind souls, creating conflict instead of freedom," Buddha explained patiently. The disciple lowered his gaze, reflecting deeply on the relationship and the tensions that had defined their recent interactions. Buddha pointed toward a nearby flower, its petals delicate and vibrant, swaying gently in the breeze. "Look at this flower," Buddha said. "It grows in harmony. Surrounded by elements it neither commands nor resists. Nature's understanding at work." The disciple asked hesitantly, "But how does one plant the seed of understanding where it has never grown before?" "Master?" Buddha smiled lightly, his words flowing with the simplicity of wisdom carved from profound truth and experience. "Begin with patience," he said. "Understanding requires time to flourish and stillness to take root within the heart of another." The disciple nodded, but a spark of doubt flickered, evident in the hesitation of his demeanor and expression. "And listen," Buddha continued, his tone encouraging. "Listen not only to words, but also to silence, where truth often hides unnoticed." Another disciple spoke, "Master, my younger sister struggles under the burden of tradition and duty. She wishes freedom but cannot voice it clearly." Buddha's gaze softened as his wisdom turned toward the realities many faced, caught between expectations and personal desires. He gestured toward the family approaching them, a father, mother, and daughter clearly engaged in disagreement. "Observe them," Buddha said calmly. "They suffer not from lack of love but absence of understanding, which blinds them to each other's needs." The father exclaimed, "Master Buddha, my daughter refuses marriage, defying the path tradition calls her to. Her rebellion shakes our harmony." The daughter's eyes mirrored both fear and courage as she stood, firm, her hands trembling but her stance resolute. Buddha spoke gently to the father, his voice neither accusing nor dismissive, seeking balance amidst the turmoil. "A bird who cannot spread its wings will never truly sing. For freedom nurtures creativity and connection," Buddha said. The father frowned slightly, his anger subdued but his stubbornness lingering, his eyes fixed upon his daughter's trembling frame. Buddha continued, "Love is not control, but liberation. True love seeks not to possess but to uplift and support." The daughter's lips trembled, but her expression softened as Buddha's words reached deep within her struggling soul. "Tradition must not become chains," Buddha said. "Let it guide but never command. For wisdom lies in adaptability and growth." The mother spoke hesitantly, "But Master, the family suffers when roles are ignored. We lose our roots and sense of unity." Buddha's gentle smile reassured her, as he addressed her concerns with the ease of flowing water finding its course. Unity grows from understanding, not rigid adherence. If love prevails, tradition transforms into strength, rather than restriction, Buddha responded. The father finally softened, his expression showing hesitation but also a newfound willingness to reflect on his choices. "Let us allow our daughter freedom," he said quietly. "May she find a path that honors both love and independence." Buddha bowed his head lightly in acknowledgement, offering gratitude for the progress achieved through patience and mindful conversation. As the family left, Buddha turned once more to his disciples, their hearts brimming with reflection and questions. "Disciples," Buddha said, "the seed of understanding grows where listening prevails. Watered by patience and nourished by love's unwavering light." The disciples lowered their heads in silent reflection, their thoughts weaving through the wisdom shared and challenges ahead. Buddha closed his eyes briefly, signaling the end of this teaching and the beginning of inner contemplation for all. The sun, now higher in the sky, cast light that illuminated the faces of disciples and villagers alike. In the moments that followed, the quiet of the Bodhi tree seemed to hold the weight of transformation within. A single bird sang its song from the higher branches, as if carrying Buddha's teachings across the endless skies. The seed of understanding, Buddha knew, had found its place within those present, awaiting nourishment to grow further. Thus did the day end, with harmony and wisdom shared among the family that listened to the Buddha's words. Another day, another teaching unfolded as Buddha walked along the sacred river Ganga, surrounded by his faithful disciples. The air carried whispers of water, its steady flow echoing lessons that nature imparted without words or need for instruction. Buddha paused upon reaching the riverbank, his gaze resting on a family embroiled in conflict over inheritance and possessions. The father shouted accusations at his son, while the mother tried unsuccessfully to mediate, her voice drowned by rising anger. Buddha approached the family calmly, his presence alone silencing their quarrels and drawing their attention to the figure of peace. The river flows without complaint, accepting every drop, whether pure rain or tainted runoff. Without losing its essence, Buddha said. The son scoffed, frustration clear in his tone as he muttered, "Master, possessions are not as simple as water's flow." Buddha knelt beside the river and cupped his hands, allowing water to fill and then slip through his fingers. Possessions, like water, Buddha explained, are transient. Their permanence is an illusion that creates suffering and binds hearts to discontent. The mother stepped closer, her expression filled with both hope and uncertainty as she sought solace in Buddha's wisdom. "But Master," she asked, "how do we reconcile when our hearts hold resentment toward actions we cannot forgive?" Buddha gazed at the sun, whose anger burned like embers, threatening to ignite and consume him entirely. Anger clouds the mind like silt stirred in water. Forgiveness clears the currents, allowing reflection and truth to emerge, Buddha said. The son protested, "Master, my father's greed has caused pain. Forgiveness feels undeserved and impossible given the circumstances we endure." Buddha turned to the father, whose expression showed guilt intermingled with defiance, his words seeking justification for his actions. Greed roots itself in fear, fear of losing status, control, and security. Release fear, and greed loses its power, Buddha said. The father hesitated, his lips trembling slightly, as though battling inner demons and the weight of his son's accusations. Buddha continued, "Fear cannot coexist with understanding. Reflect upon your intentions, and find where compassion might replace your desire to possess." The mother spoke again, her voice steadier now. "Master, if forgiveness is the answer, how does one truly forgive such wounds?" Buddha scooped water once more, allowing the river's flow to demonstrate its ceaseless acceptance of impurities and transformation. Forgiveness is not approval of actions. It is the release of burdens that anchor one's soul to past suffering, Buddha said. The son listened more intently, though his anger still simmered, as his gaze flickered between the river and Buddha's teachings. Buddha pointed to a nearby stone, its surface shaped by the river's relentless current, creating beauty from persistence. Forgiveness shapes the heart as water molds stone. Slowly, patiently, creating strength and grace in the face of adversity, Buddha explained. The father sighed deeply, his expression softening as Buddha's words began to reach the corners of his conflicted mind. Master, what must I do to heal the wounds my actions have caused my son? The father asked quietly. Buddha smiled lightly, his demeanor encouraging, as he revealed the path toward reconciliation between father and son. Speak truth, without defense or justification. Let love guide your words. Allowing humility and vulnerability to dissolve barriers between hearts, Buddha said. The son frowned, but the tension in his stance lessened, as he considered his father's role in Buddha's teachings on healing. Buddha addressed the son, his voice steady and kind. Forgiveness is a gift you give yourself before it transforms others. Choose liberation. The son exhaled deeply, his shoulders relaxing as he reflected upon Buddha's wisdom and his own struggles with anger. The family fell silent, standing together as they watched the river's flow and sought clarity in its ceaseless movement. Buddha turned once more to his disciples, who had gathered nearby, observing the interaction with quiet reverence and reflection. Disciples, Buddha said, learn from the river. It teaches without words and transforms everything it touches through patience and persistence. The disciples lowered their heads, absorbing the lesson and contemplating how forgiveness could mend their own lives and relationships. The family bowed before Buddha, gratitude evident in their expressions as they prepared to embrace reconciliation and transformation. Buddha smiled, his presence radiating peace as he continued his journey along the riverbank, leaving wisdom in his wake. The day ended with harmony restored, as the family sought forgiveness and understanding to nurture the roots of love. The river flowed on, carrying Buddha's teachings far and wide, touching lives and inspiring change in its endless journey. The sun sank low, casting golden light upon the waters, where reflections danced like whispers of wisdom reaching across time. Another day, another journey brought Buddha and his disciples back to the Bodhi tree, where the villagers gathered seeking solace. A family approached Buddha, their hearts heavy with grief after losing their youngest child to an illness that left them desolate. The mother wept openly, her tears streaming, as the father stood silent, his gaze fixed on the ground beneath his feet. Buddha sat among them, his serene presence inviting them to speak freely, to share the burdens weighing down their spirits. Ananda bowed deeply, his heart filled with gratitude and a sense of liberation from the chains of indecision. One disciple asked, Master, how can we ensure that we do not stray from the middle path when faced with life's temptations? The Buddha replied, anchor yourself in mindfulness, for it serves as the compass guiding you through the storms of desire and distraction. Life, Buddha began, is like this tree. Its leaves fall, yet new ones grow, reminding us of renewal amidst impermanence. The father frowned slightly, his voice heavy as he said, but, Master, our loss feels permanent, her absence cannot be undone. Buddha turned his gaze to the father, his words flowing like a steady stream seeking depth and connection beneath the surface. Loss is felt deeply because love ties hearts together. The journey of the Buddha and his disciples carried them to many more places, each enriched by the wisdom of the middle path. Ananda's story became a guiding light, a reminder that freedom lies not in extremes but in harmony with life's rhythm. Roots represent connection, Buddha explained. Extend love to the world as deeply as you love your child. Arav bowed respectfully and said, Master, I've practiced detachment. Yet, lingering worries persist. The mother wiped her tears, her voice hesitant. Master, we wish to honor her memory, yet the pain overshadows every intention we have. Buddha smiled lightly, his expression tender, as he spoke words that reached for the fragments of hope within their hearts. Plant a tree, Buddha said. Let its growth symbolize renewal. remembrance, and love transcending loss. In nurturing it, healing follows. The father nodded slowly, though his hesitation remained, rooted in the weight of his pain and uncertainty about moving forward. But Master, the father asked, how do we release the sorrow gripping our hearts and let compassion guide us instead? Buddha's gaze rested on the flowing waters of a nearby stream. As its rhythm mirrored life's continuous journey toward renewal. Sorrow may grip, yet it softens when shared. Compassion blossoms when love extends beyond oneself, connecting with all beings deeply. The family's eyes filled with reflection, as Buddha's words planted seeds within their hearts, seeking growth amidst the shadows of grief. Villagers stepped forward, sharing memories of their loved ones, finding solace in collective compassion shaped by Buddha's teachings on healing. Buddha addressed the gathering, his voice steady and kind, drawing wisdom from the moment shared among those seeking understanding. Loss binds hearts through shared love. Healing comes from uniting, uplifting, and fostering connections that extend beyond individual sorrow. The villagers nodded, their hearts touched as they turned to embrace new ways of honoring and understanding the essence of love. The family planted a tree near the Bodhi tree, their grief shaping their actions, their compassion nurturing life within the earth. Led by example, offering support selflessly, others follow when they witness shared resilience. Through Buddha's teachings, a path emerged for the family and villagers, drawing strength from compassion and shared understanding of life. The tree swayed in the breeze, carrying the whispers of hope and wisdom far beyond its roots and extending toward the sky. The day ended as Buddha sat beneath the Bodhi tree, his presence radiating peace, guiding hearts toward renewal and compassion. The family gathered quietly near the tree they planted, watching its leaves, and finding healing in the unity of their love. Buddha closed his eyes, allowing stillness to mark the end of this teaching and the beginning of deeper reflections within. Thus, the family's journey grew, their hearts slowly embracing the connection between loss, love, and compassion shared through Buddha's wisdom. The tree remained, standing tall as a testament to healing, love, and the bonds forged through the teachings of the Buddha. Another day would come, yet the seeds planted in grief blossomed into renewed strength and understanding nurtured by compassion and love. How do I address such persistent conflicts peacefully? The Buddha said, peace arises by holding compassion within while navigating challenges externally. Balance inner tranquility with patient, wise responses outwardly. Thank you for watching. Buddha's teachings are always with you. Subscribe to our channel and we will see you in the next video.